she for being a very small person, can eat an unreasonable amount of food. One of my favorite stories is Chris, Brittany's mom. Brittany and I went to a movie, and Brittany went up to the front of the movie theater and ordered a small popcorn, and they said, well, I'm sorry, we're out of that size. And I said, well, I'd like some, so let's get the grande large size. And so we did, and I kid you not, it was no more than 5 minutes into the movies after the previews, the entire thing is gone, and she's setting it on the floor.
Kind of funny, we did this book called 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged, and the question was, describe your perfect, intimate, romantic evening. And so Brock went first. When we were answering that question, Brock was like, my perfect romantic night is a great dinner, maybe some flank steak, a nice glass of wine with my wife. We sit down and we're talking, and we sit down at the Excel spreadsheet and talk about our finances. And I was like, that's your perfect night?
Yeah.
I like
from
it.
the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Shouting it from the
From the other
rooftops.
end.
Exactly.
Before Brittany and Brock started dating, they were very close friends, or had grown to be very close friends. But then there was a point in time where they were kind of dating, but had not officially said it, where I think Brock wanted to, but Brittany was very unsure, just because it's hard to go back from a romantic relationship back to a friendship, and she did not want to risk that.
Bridget was the first one to bring up the idea to me, and I had told her, like, no way, like, Brock knows way too much about me, like, he would not be interested in dating me with the stuff that he knows.
When we would take group pictures, they'd always be standing next to each other, so I'd like zoom in on the group picture, crop it to just them, and then like draw a heart around it and send it to the rest of our friends.
Probably, as most people know, Brock's pretty confident. But the funny thing is, when it came to Brittany, he was not. So he would come home, and I would see him and say, I would just stand up, mix a drink, or grab the football. And we spent a lot of time just throwing the football back and forth, having basically the same conversation over and over, but it all kind of started with Jason. Brittany said, we're friends today. Like, it's never gonna happen.
So one day Mal said to me, hey Brittany, just a heads up, Brock's going on a date tonight.
And she kind of stopped and she's like, wait, is he? Who is he on a date with?
What do you mean he's going on a date with someone else? Like, who is she? How did they even meet? Like, I'm with him almost every single night. Like, literally, how did they even meet? Like, I don't understand. Where are they going? I'm gonna go right now.
And she kind of had a minor freak out moment.
And Mal, like, sits back with this smug little look on her face, and she's like, well. I guess someone has a crush on Brock after all.
Jason, thank goodness for him. I don't know. I don't know how this would have went without him and Mal, who is a puppeteer in this all along too.
We just continued to have the exact same conversation over and over and over. And as you can tell, this ball took a beating during those times.
It would just be him helping me, I guess, decode some of her text messages.
She texted me and she put 2 dots at the end of it. Like, this is not gonna happen.
Or talk me off the ledge when something wasn't in line with what I was hoping for, the way that we had communicated to each other, something like that. Jason decoded a lot of things for me and kept me grounded throughout, where there were some highs and lows through that time of guessing along the way.
I would ask him these simple questions. Brock, if Brittany's having a bad day, who does she call? Well, me. Brock, if Brittany has a great day, something awesome happened, what or who would she call? Well, me. And Brock, so if she is just sitting at home on a Friday night and doesn't want to be alone, who does she call? Well, me. So who would she be with? Well, me.
In my mind, I had said Brittany and I couldn't be this close when I married, because my wife would always know that I love Brittany more than I would love her.
She's like, the thought of Brock with someone else was kind of like, dang, like I love having him as like my best friend that I like go to first with like anything and exciting, like call him, and she's like, yeah, that would look super different.
I was like, okay, like, we're gonna have to play this 7th grade style. So Mal, you're gonna need to go like plant a seed with Brock and just like see what he, like, you don't even need to see what he says, just like kind of like plant a seed and see what happens.
Little did she know, I was already doing that.
And she was like, no way, I'm not doing that. That is so juvenile. If you have feelings for Brock, you need to tell him yourself.
but I think Mal really puppeteered it at the very end, just directing. She even said to me, I'll tell you when it's the right time, knowing that I wouldn't know when the right time. I'd wait too long or be too early. I was never going to be the right time.
I called Brock immediately, and I was like, okay, Brock.
Now is the time to really get stepping on this. I'm not saying at this moment, but in very close proximity to now would be the time to pull the trigger, I guess.
And 2 days later, on March 9th, Brock like gets up to leave and puts on his coat and he starts stammering through these sentences. And I'm like, oh gosh, like something is about to happen and I'm so confused. Like, what did I miss here from a timing perspective? So he starts stammering. He's like, you know, we've been spending a lot of time together. It's been really great. And, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you know, I have feelings for you.
All this time, they've had this awesome, tight friendship, so they've built their relationship now off of just a very casual, genuine friendship, which I think is so cool and special because not a lot of couples have that. Most couples like meet, start dating, and the friendship forms as they're dating, but they had years of friendship leading into like dating and then now marriage, so I think that's really cool. In January, Brock texted me and he said, Mal, I need your help. I don't tell anyone this, but I'm gonna propose to Brittany. And I'm like, we already all knew that.
Obviously, Brittany was also on high alert because she was ready to be engaged months before they became engaged. So you could be at a Chipotle and she would see someone pull out a phone or camera. Brittany would think like she is going to be engaged by the end of this.
Getting engaged was literally always on the back of my mind. I think every single day at some point, whether it was internally or like externally actually saying it, at some point almost every day I thought like, is this a proposal? Are we getting engaged right now?
Since I've known Brittany, she's had very big dreams about her proposal, engagement, day, night, weekend.
So there was a lot of pressure on that to have some level of a surprise. That was important to me, to throw something off a little bit.
So when Brock came to me saying that he was going to propose, we knew that we had some events to plan.
So I had Bridget, Mal, Carissa, Jason, and Luke, and family and friends around that group really work with me pretty hard there and tell some lies, I guess. We'll have to call them lies. Some stretch of the truth that make that happen.
But Brock wanted to propose. He wanted his family to be able to attend the engagement party, and they were going on vacation, and then it just so happened to be the same weekend as this Healing Haiti ball, which the 6 of us had attended a Healing Haiti missions trip. The whole time, Brittany thought we were going to the ball. I said I would buy all the tickets, so to Venmo me. I did not buy the tickets, and I still, to this day, feel terrible that I told everyone that I was going to this ball and donating all this money.
So we were getting ready together at my condo, and Brock had texted me saying, hey babe, I'm really sorry, I'm running a little late. A client meeting went long, and so I'm gonna just have to meet you at Bridget and Luke's. And I was like, totally fine, see you there, whatever. And I kind of look at Bridget and I was like, oh, is Brock late because he's gonna propose? And Bridget gets this look of like, please stop talking.
I knew that it was happening in 45 minutes. I was about to throw up. I just felt terrible. I just had to keep lying, and I was afraid I was gonna get tangled in this mess of lies, and then she's gonna find out I was gonna ruin everything.
What she said was, you just always get your hopes up, and then you're so sad when it doesn't happen, and I really want tonight to be a good night. And I was like, you're right. It needs to be a good night. I need to just let this go. It's not happening. He already told me it's not happening at the ball. You're so right.
I was lying again.
So we get here, and Bridget said, hey, we should go up to the roof to do a video for my 1 second story. But we were waiting for Brock, and we were all dressed up, and the skyline's beautiful, so I was like, sure, whatever. And as we were walking to the elevator, I almost said, oh, when we get up to the roof, is Brock gonna be there? Bridget and I take this selfie, and as I'm turning to say, oh, I think that was awful, can we retake that? She's sprinting away from me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Brock comes from behind this corner and starts walking towards me with a thing of flowers, And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I turn to Bridget to say, Bridget, I think it's happening. And she has her professional camera out taking pictures. And so I think I yelled, it is happening. At this point, I'm just like kind of connecting all of these dots and all of the lies. And I just start pointing and yelling.
I had not planned what I was going to say. I knew Brittany was not going to let me get out of a lot of words when she realized that it was going to happen. That excitement and that pressure that had been building up, I knew that was going to explode with emotion at that point. And I was right about that.
You lied! You lied! You lied! You lied! Like just freaking out. I'm literally jumping up and down in 4-inch heels, yelling at people that they lied. And finally Brock was like, can I get a word in?
Brittany, I don't even know if I've asked you, but will you marry me? I need that confirmation right now because I didn't have the time or the words to say that even when I was down on one knee.
After our champagne toast, then I uploaded all the pictures, and while those were uploading, I just had to come clean about everything.
It was over. We knew. She obviously said yes, and they'd be together for a long time to come. And I slept great that night.
And I was able to finally sleep at night.
To have the support from the friend group, from the start of our relationship, even before it really was a relationship, the support and the love that they've shown us, but also just having the best group of friends in life just gives it another purpose, another special meaning to us. So we're grateful that they're here today.
Like our wedding party, I was just saying to someone the other day, our wedding party truly could be standing on either side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And I feel so blessed by that.
Let's plan on keeping Jason on my side in the tux rather than the dress, though.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in a dress today. Or any day.
Or any day.